So, we spoke a lot about electric cars, petrol cars, diesel cars, which is the best for the environment, which is the best for your pocket. We've spoken about this at length on many, many occasions. And, I've given my thoughts. My good friend Ed Benon, who's an expert on this kind of thing, has given his thoughts as well. And, in general, we kind of came to the conclusion that EVs on the whole are pretty good. There are disadvantages to them, of course, but we didn't really speak about the direct comparison between them and diesel vehicles that much, to be fair. It was more on petrol because petrol is the dominant kind of fuel source in most countries around the world, most developed countries. But obviously things do change. Things do alter as time goes on. Kind of countries become more efficient when it comes to electrical generation and stuff like that. So this yardstick is constantly shifting. Now, there's a really interesting article here on MSN by Daggans.com here in the UK claiming that electric cars may pollute more than diesel cars. And it's not from the exhaust. Obviously, it's not from the exhaust because EV cars emit no emissions. However, to generate the electricity that they need to run, greenhouse gases do have to be produced a lot of the time in the UK and a lot of Western countries. This is changing, like I said. But at the end of the day, it is not a perfect thing. And also to construct the cars as well, it does also make a lot of greenhouse gases. And on top of that too, unfortunately, some very, very questionable human rights issues as well that we've spoken about on different videos. But let's have a look at this article first. So credit to Camilla Jensen for penning this article. Let's have a look at what's been said. Because as you can tell, 155 comments. People are definitely talking about the findings of this article. So let's have a look here. A new study from the University of Southampton suggests that particulate matter from electrical cars may be more harmful than those with diesel emissions, and it's not coming from the tailpipe. Researchers found that particles released from electric car brakes can cause more damage to lung cells than diesel exhaust. While electrical vehicles, EVs, are often seen as clean alternatives, they still produce pollution in the form of tyre wear and road friction. Why electric cars are still polluting the air? Professor Matthew Loxham, one of the lead researchers, warns that while EVs eliminate exhaust emissions, they are not truly emissions-free. He said, and I quote, "As we shift from diesel and petrol-powered cars to electric cars, emissions of non-exhaust particulate matter will not disappear," end quote, as cited by Boosted. In fact, they could increase because electric vehicles are heavier, putting more strain on the brakes, tyres and roads. The study found that brake dust, especially from certain types of brake pads, is highly toxic. Non-asbestos brake pads with higher copper content were even more harmful to lung cells than diesel exhaust particulates. The second most harmful were ceramic brake pads. The ultrafine particles known as PM2.5 can easily enter the respiratory system, contributing to millions of premature deaths worldwide each year. The findings challenge the perception that EVs are completely clean. While governments focus on reducing exhaust pollution, there is little regulation regarding brake, tyre and road wear emissions. People generally associate pollution from cars with exhaust pipes. They think the electric cars are completely emission-free. However, electric cars still emit particles due to friction and wear, said James Parkin, the study's lead author. Are there any solutions? Some EVs use braking, which reduces the reliance on traditional brakes, but even this has got unintended consequences. Mercedes is working on a braking system that sits inside the electric motor, virtually eliminating brake dust. The company claims that 98% of braking could be done using the electric motor, preventing this entirely. So yeah, EVs are far from perfect. If you watch me here on the motoringchronicle.com enough, you'll know that's definitely my thoughts on it. It's pretty undeniable at the end of the day for the reasons I laid out in the intro, and also this too, brake wear, more road wear. I mean, the roads in the UK are bad enough, and maybe the fact that we're having more EVs is actually contributing to more wear on the roads. Larger cars in general are of course more popular now in the UK than they ever have been, but I imagine that is something that is mirrored in a lot of Western countries as well. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Something that I never really thought about. So if you guys are wondering what that is, basically, obviously, to slow your car down, you've got brakes on the wheels. These do wear out over time. You might notice them. You like the kind of inside of the rims in your car are kind of like dusty, this kind of black sooty material. That's the brakes. That's not anything you've picked up on the road. That is the brakes actually wearing down. And obviously, the more the car weighs, the more stress will be placed on the brakes when it is slowing down. Therefore, the more the breaks way down. Now, I would be interested to see a comparison between an average diesel car's brake wear and that of an electric car. Obviously, it'll be worse for the electric car because in general they are heavier because of the batteries, of course. But I would like to see a comparison there because at the end of the day, a lot of cars are diesel and petrol powered and, you know, presumably using similar brake pads. Now, that technology from Mercedes sounds very promising, very exciting. So we'll have to watch this space really. So yeah, even though electric cars are clean at the tailpipe because they don't have a tailpipe, of course, unfortunately, things like brake wear are making it worse. So again, as always, guys, I want to hear what you have to say about this. I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts going off of the comments on that article there. People will have thoughts on this. So I want to hear your thoughts because in general, I do get a lot of people saying that electric cars are a waste of space. But then I get a lot of people who own electric cars that say they are fantastic and they love them. But I bet they'll love them a little less after hearing this. That is, yeah, rather concerning. Like, share, comments, and subscribe as always here on themotoringchronicle.com to see much more content like this on the world of cars. See you soon, guys. Have a great week ahead.